What do we have here? The context is I got a tip about new PvM bot groups working together in deep wilderness. And as bots destroy moneymakers left and right and end up competing with themselves to do the best methods like revenants, scripters seem to be okay with pushing their bots into riskier areas to chase their fleeting profits. Which is probably why I'm getting tips that there are large numbers of bots at Kalisto in level 40 wilderness. I went to investigate. The recorder wasn't on when I spotted the first one, but I turned it on as soon as I saw someone kinda suspicious and chased them out of the cave. They're in Mystics with a Zerishan hat and an accursed scepter, which means they risk a decent amount. This account had 26 million magic XP, no other high stats, and over 6,000 Kalisto kills, rank 260. I'm not ready to try to kill them yet, I'm still investigating exactly what's going on, but they clearly run if you enter the cave. Here's another one, Cookie Jar. And I died while I was filming this, but the account was a similar story, except 6,800 Kalisto kills, rank 220, with almost 30 million magic XP. I was ready to attack the next one I found a couple worlds later. And since it's 40 wilderness, the easiest strategy is just to freeze the bot and let Kalisto KO it with melee. No need to teleblock it. And this specific bot had level 100 magic, literally almost no other stats, and only a few hundred Kalisto kills. The loot? 533k. That means if I can consistently find these bots, it's super easy to kill them, so I should be able to make a good 6 to 10 mil per hour. The next spot we find, something different happens. The bot is by the south entrance and makes it out before I can freeze it. I freeze it right as it's leaving, so it's frozen in the other cave. And I try to kill it, but I don't do enough DPS without Kalisto assisting me. And right as it gets unfrozen, it actually ice barrages me as it's running away with perfect timing and makes its escape. Once out of the cave, it's too low wilderness to attack it, but that means these scripters are programming their bots to actually freeze PKers as they run away. We saw this in the Rev cave and it's moving to other bots. At first I thought maybe it was a real person, but looking at their stats, it's basically the same story as the others, but with desert treasure requirements. 1,700 Kalisto kills. Next account I find, it seems to be a different lower level bot, only level 65, so I can't attack it, and that's probably why it didn't run away. Now, it's only got 45 prayer, but 85 magic, and 1551 Kalisto kills, which makes it seem like it was literally training here since like 60 magic. And this is some foreshadowing because these bots are usually found in large groups. We'll get into that right after this. Omni Heroes is a heroic fantasy casual strategy RPG and has received recommendations from both Google Play and the Apple App Store. Omni Heroes' synergy system and masterfully designed Valkyries are key features to enhance gameplay. As Omni Guardians, players are called upon to rescue the captive Valkyries from demons and fight together against evil threatening the world. Players can summon forth legendary heroes, unlock multiple synergies, and match hundreds of team comps at will. The game also offers both casual and relaxed gameplay for those who want to unwind, while also providing enough depth and exploration for players who enjoy strategic challenges. With a whopping 17 unique synergies and over 100 team comps, you're the mastermind behind powerful battle buffs. When you're tired, treat yourself to rest and let the automated mechanics take over. You can drop in whenever you like to claim the rewards they've earned for you. With the nifty quick battle tricks up your sleeve, you can even skip battles effortlessly. Omni Heroes is gearing up for an exciting new season, Ashen Phantom, on November 17th. Get ready for an electrifying experience with a captivating new storyline and roguelike dungeon gameplay. So if you haven't already downloaded the game, now is the perfect time to do so. Seize this opportunity to download the game and claim 777 free summons, welcoming 5 legendary heroes into your roster within the week. Thanks to Omni Heroes for sponsoring this video. As I hop through worlds, I'm running into more and more bots, and with the assist from Kalisto, I can KO most of them pretty easily for about 500k loot each. And again, most do have similar stat patterns with at least 6,000 Kalisto kills. For reference, one Kalisto kill is worth about 220k on average, so each bot has made over 1.3 billion GP worth of loot. Then I enter the cave on a new world, and check this out. 6 or 7 low-level Kalisto bots all working together. They have the same setup as the other low-level bot I found. The only stats they have trained are prayer and magic, and they all have about 1,000 Kalisto kills. I couldn't attack any of them so they didn't run away, but I stuck around and leached kills from them for a while. As I observed, they barely take any damage and kill the big bear in less than 30 seconds. Pretty crazy that we literally have little clans of PvM bots now. What I should really do is get Ice Barrage on my peer and just go to town on the whole group at once. I am a little bit embarrassed to show this clip, but for entertainment purposes and to make sure this video is long enough, why not? So I go in to kill this Kalisto bot, and And long story short, the bot does a little bit of damage to me, maybe auto retaliates just on, and Kalisto KOs me. Exactly what I'm doing to the bot does to me. Now theoretically, the bot could just loot my items, which would be so embarrassing. But I'm pretty sure the bot isn't coded to loot PKers, they've anti-PK'd. And it turns out Kalisto killed the bot as well, so I get the bot's loot too. And as I'm leaving the cave, I kind of cheekily tell the bear to F off, which was not a good idea. Don't piss off the bear. Long story short, there are lots of Kalisto bots out there that are basically free loot if you can just freeze them, which is relatively easy to do, so happy hunting. Tip just came in 10 minutes ago that rune swords are buying and selling for 1 GP each on the Grand Exchange. They have an ALK value of over 12k, so this is obviously very strange. I hop on, and sure enough, I max out the buy limit of 70, purchasing them all for 1 GP each. That's over 800k worth of rune swords. I hop on another account, same thing, 70 for 1 GP each. On the third account, they don't buy for 1 GP, but I ended up buying them for 5k each, still well below their value. Looks like other people caught on and were also buying them, driving up the price. But if we look at the real-time price wiki, they've been trading at 1 GP for over an hour. It looks like a massive bot dump, with like 500 to 2,000 rune swords being sold every 5 minutes. Either that or it's a dupe, but that's much less likely, and whoever would have found that dupe would probably just ALK them instead of dumping them on the Grand Exchange for no profit. So, what bots would be dumping rune swords? Well, let's look at the item sources for it. Obviously you can smith them, but you lose over 400 GP every time you create a rune sword. So bots probably aren't doing this. It could be a real player dumping them after training smithing, but I also doubt it. Like, what player would dump over 100 mil worth of rune swords when they could just leave them in a little bit below ALK value and sell them over a few days? So likely a bot dump from a different activity that gives rune swords. Well, the only other item sources are basically drops or loot from activities. The most likely options are Black Demons from Wilderness Slayer or Bryophyta, which seems like a likely suspect since it's in free to play as well. There are a number of less likely methods like Abyssal Sire, Shades of Morton, or other various bosses that have much lower drop rates but are probably botted. Anyway, I made an easy 2 mil in less than 3 minutes. I got a tip that near Hosidius at the Plowing Fields there was something strange happening. Lots of level 60s, mid 60s bots logging in and out, and sure enough, just sitting on one world shows these bots logging in and out repeatedly, cycling through worlds. The stats are kind of a mixed bag. Most around 700 total level, most with 75 magic, but they don't seem to be plowing the fields, which is what I thought I'd find. I've caught bots plowing the fields before. And given the strange nature of the bots' behavior, I jotted down 20 usernames and decided to wait and see what the bots would become. I had to wait over 2 weeks to find out, and more than half were still sitting at around the same stats. Not really any change. 3 were banned. A few of them had a couple hundred corrupted gauntlet kill count though, and a few more had a couple hundred barrows kill count. So the accounts were being created for multiple different boss and bot farms, and they seem to operate on variable time delays as to when they're basically activated to start their gold farming activities. That could also be because whoever was training up the accounts was then selling them to other botters who then decided what they would become. Or it's one relatively sophisticated botter doing multiple different gold farming methods. A tip came in about bots using darts to train ranged at yaks on Natiznat. There are a lot of these bots. I found 1 to 3 of them on most worlds. They're all in D-Hide, they were using darts to kill yaks, and they all have about 750 total level. Some with very high prayer level, up to level 77 prayer. Most have 80 plus mage and 50s to 70s ranged. Obviously botting yaks wasn't the end goal here, so I waited a full 3 weeks to see what the accounts would end up being used for. Lots of them hadn't progressed that much, but a couple of them already had a couple hundred Zulrah kill count, so at least some of them are being used to bot Zulrah. Recently, I've heard of lots of false bans. In the past 2 weeks though, a player mod literally got false banned while killing a Desert Treasure 2 boss a little bit after I uploaded a video about Desert Treasure 2 boss bots, which is super concerning. Fortunately, Jagex has unbanned the player moderator. I decided to experiment, test if I can reproduce a way of getting falsely banned. One tip-off I got within the last couple months was of a false real-world trade ban when someone was trading over 5 mil worth of red spider eggs to a clanmate who is over the GE limit. Kinda weird that it was only 5 mil too, that's not very much. So I created 2 new accounts and I bought 15 mil worth of red spider eggs.
The plan is just to trade them between the 2 fresh accounts to see if either gets banned. I should mention red spider eggs are heavily botted items, which is probably why transferring them may have a chance of triggering a false ban, although obviously it never should if you haven't actually broken the rules. I traded the red spider eggs over, waited a few days, and no ban. Then I upped the amount to 30 mil worth of red spider eggs, but still no ban. I then decided to become a red spider egg hoarder on one of the fresh accounts. So basically doing what a red spider egg bot would do, but playing legitimately. I got 43 prayer for protect from melee from temple spiders so I could go collect some eggs. I collected a few inventories, and then I also traded that account more red spider eggs and traded it over to the other low level account. Now even that didn't get me falsely banned, which is great news that that test didn't work. And so even though it didn't work, I'm super curious. Has anyone found any activity that does not break the rules but basically automatically gets you banned consistently? From this example test, my guess is false bans are often a bit more complicated than you might actually think. Anyway, that's all from me for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.